Hello everybody, and thank you once again for joining me for another deck tech video here in the Ravnica Legions block. My name is Justice, my handle is Sarcantuna. Do remember to like and subscribe to this channel for more content like this, all the events I try and do, and some free-to-play tips and tricks, how to save gold, how to spend wild cards, all that kind of stuff coming up. Today in this video we're going to talk about Goblins. There's a ton of Goblin synergy right now, and there's a lot you can do. So I'm going to start with this deck, and if it goes off a few good times while we're doing the play testing, it's going to make me think about investing a little bit more into the top end of this deck and making it a little more survivable. But let's take a look at the deck tech for now and see what we got going on, see what our win conditions are going to be. And you'll notice it's very cheap, and it's also cheap in terms of like rares and uncommons also. I've got 4 Fanatical Firebrands, a 1-casting 1/1 with haste. You can tap it and sacrifice it, and it deals 1 damage to any target. The tap part is important because you can't attack and then sack it. 4 Goblin Bannerets, a 1-casting 1/1 with Mentor. For 2, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Bannerets on their own can win the game. Like they're fabulous. I've got 2 Rigging Runners, which is a 1-casting 1/1 with First Strike and Raid. So if it enters the battlefield after you attacked, it has a +1/+1 counter, so it's a 2/2. 4 Spear Spewers, tap it to deal 1 damage to each player. It's a 1-casting 0/2 with Defender. So hopefully the Spear Spewer gets out and keeps those 1/1s from attacking us as just like an effective blocker. But it will also tap to trigger Spectacle for us. It's kind of nice. 2 Tin Street Dodgers, another 1-casting 1/1 with haste. I love the haste. And that's important because I'm running 2 Cavalcades of Calamity. Whenever a creature you control with power 1 or less attacks, Cavalcade of Calamity deals 1 damage to the player or planeswalker that creature is attacking. Cavalcade goes through Root Snare, preventing combat damage. It's really nice. So if you attack, with like 3 1/1 tokens, and you attack a planeswalker, and they block or otherwise have something to prevent the combat damage from happening, Cavalcade of Calamity still does its damage. It's pretty nice, and can win you the game on its own. So that's why you'll notice there's no Goblin Trash Masters in here, because they would negate the Cavalcade of Calamity. So either way, 6 in one hand, a half dozen in the other. You could run Trash Masters, you could run Goblin Chain Whirlers. You'll see there's so much synergy right now. It's pretty awesome. I'm doing 4 Goblin Instigators for 2. It's a 1/1 that summons a 1/1. So you get 2 1/1s for 2, right? You'll see there's a theme here. 4 Lightning Strikes. This is just pesky removal for creatures I don't want to see, like Ajani's Pridemates is a big one, or any flyers. This deck is susceptible to decent blockers and flyers if I can't get an early jump. I'm running 4 Legion War Bosses, a 3-casting 2/2 with Mentor, and at the beginning of combat on your turn it creates a 1/1 Goblin creature token that gains haste and must attack. This combined with Cavalcade of Calamity is amazing because everybody blocks the token and kills it, right? But if the game is starting to stall out, they're going to take that 1 damage and potentially more with Spear Spewers. It's pretty nice. And then they have to resolve it. If they have like flyers out there, we're pretty much dead. But that's okay. The game's over in like 5 turns, one way or the other. 4 Light Up the Stage, which is, I try to only play this for a spectacle cost of 1. Otherwise it costs 3. And you would exile the top 2 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You can play those cards. So it's the end of your next turn. You can wait a full turn. It's kind of nice. I did play this on turn 2 once in the earlier tests and got a Legion War Boss and a Lightning Strike. That doesn't work so well because you don't have the mana to play them both. But it's a risk I'm willing to take. I'm running 2 Risk Factors, which is good. A good home run hitter. For 3, target opponent pretty much takes 4 damage unless they choose to let you draw 3 cards. And it jump starts. The jump start effect is awesome because you can get rid of a mountain or something late in the game. And 4 Skewer the Critics, which is really only good for its spectacle cost of 1, deals 3 damage to any target, and it is a sorcery. And because this deck is so cheap, I'm only running 20 mountains. I would argue with myself about doing 19 or even 18 lands in this deck because it is so cheap. Even these spectacles, these are pretty much 1-casting cards, right? I just don't have any luck if I drop below 20 land. So that's how that is. And, I mean, think about the sideboard for this. We could even go, what's that card called? It's like, yeah, Cosmotronic Wave. Deals 1 damage to each creature your opponent controls, and then their creatures can't even block. So like you just swing in. That's a home run. But that costs 4 mana, so I might think about, if this turns out to be a really, really powerful deck, maybe a sideboard. There's no Chain Whirlers in here. There could be, right? There could be on the top end. There could be Goblin, I forget what he's called, Taskmaster? Maybe? Volley Veteran might not be a terrible addition. Maybe in the sideboard, because that does cost 4, and so that cranks up the cost of the deck a little bit. Goblin Gathering, maybe? Probably not, but maybe. Siege Gang Commander, here we go. So pay 2, sacrifice a Goblin, does 2 damage to any target. Like now we're talking, like there's some serious synergy in the sideboard, plus Lava Coil might go in the sideboard. So there's a lot here, and I saw this coming with the last set. I was like, hey, you know what, Goblins could be pretty strong. So I want to test it out a little bit. I want to see where we're at with how viable this is going to be. In some of the play tests, it's been super fast, and sometimes it's kind of stalled itself out, which is kind of how red works. And I'm not ready to play this deck in the ladder just yet, because I do like to test things out a little bit. I'm so glad they separated play from oh, this is ideal. Oh boy. Okay. So I like Spear Spewer first. What is happening up here? See this? He's got like a wild card or something going on. Or it's like it's spectacling up there for him. Let's see. So let's do Spear Spewer first, just in case he's running a creature with haste and I can use his block. That is so strange. Look at that. Okay. It's burning his hand. So he eats a shock. I didn't put any shocks in my deck. I kind of did that on purpose. So here we go. I want to get more tokens out. So we'll go with Goblin Instigator. We'll slow it down for a turn. Then next turn I'll do Firebrand into Rigging Runner for a 2/2. Maybe not. Wow, this is really weird. This Stone Quarry is hot sauce. Nope, we're going into Legion Warboss right away. And then next turn is going to swing home for a whole bunch. They also fixed this. So it used to be with Legion Warboss out, you hit this button and it only attacked with 1 creature. Now it does all attackers for us, as it should have 3 months ago. So we're in business there. This is so amazing. And now they might believe me on the bug reporter that there's a problem. Okay, so let's do another Firebrand. I don't think we're on the hook for some mass removal. And a 10 Street Dodger. No, I don't need a Skewer. We're good. And then we'll swing in for everything. This is turn 3, by the way. No, it's turn 4. I could Skewer him for 3. But I want to save Skewer to remove a pesky creature that could be in the way later on. And now he doesn't have any mass removal for us. If he does another red mana source, we might see a Chain Whirler. He's going to take some vengeance. It's not going to matter. Yep, that's game. It's because of this Stone Quarry. That's what does it. Man, if you have a Stone Quarry that's on fire, you better check that stuff out. And that's been my experience. That's what I would call an addition of the deck that really worked well. Perilous Voyage. I've never seen this card before. It's amazing sometimes all the cards that you just never seen. Okay. Or you forgot about. I forgot about so many goblins, like Shirk Prospector is one of the goblins from Dominaria. You can sacrifice any goblin for 1 red mana. And I was thinking, like, throw in a Banefire maybe, and then you attack with 7, you sack them all, and you do a 6-point Banefire. That's like turn 3 victory. Like it's amazing. But then it depends on getting all these pulls right away, so. I don't hate keeping a 1 mana hand if I go first. I don't like having just 1 Goblin Banneret and my opponent goes first. I'm going to take a mulligan. Is a little bit better. I got 2, and then I can, on the scry, I can throw away the mountain if it's a mountain. Perfect. I like Skewer. And with the matchmaking system in this mode, it's going to really try hard to match us up against somebody with like a similar deck type. And he had the mulligan too, so we'll just take out the Banneret right away. I'm going to waste our time with him. And I could do... So I could Instigator. I like this. And then next turn, with my 2 goblins, I might be able to sneak through for 1 damage, and then Skewer and light up the stage. Or just start the risk factor train. Okay, let's see what we got. So obviously, Boros Challenger is my target for Skewer the Critics. Think he blocks them both? I really hope not. That would ruin my plan. He should block 1 and then save his Banneret. Okay, so he takes it both, which is sort of takes both, which we're supposed to do. But now I can Skewer for 1. Careful there, make sure you choose the spectacle side, not the non-spectacle side. I can light up the stage, which we'll do before we play the Rigging Runner, just in case it's something we want to save. And it is. We want the Spear Spewer out to start on the 1 damage train to trigger Spectacle for later, if we need to. Hey, this is a target for removal, no problem. But this way, if I don't draw into a mountain, I can still drop my Legion War Boss. I'm not blocking. Go for it. Absolutely not. See that? So if I didn't draw... And I didn't draw the mountain. So I want to make sure I can actually play the cards that I drew into. And we'll save the Spear Spewer. No reason to start going crazy. And we'll just... Dang. It's just Goblins. That's all it is. But they work so well. Yep, we'll claim that prize. Tons of Goblin synergy. I would be excited to see what a Trash Master might do, although for what I'm trying to do with Cavalcade of Calamity is they have to have a power of 1. So if the second they're power of 2, that doesn't work anymore. And that's sort of the plan for late game, although if I start mentoring them, that also takes away Cavalcade. That's why there's not 4. A note about Cavalcade of Calamity is that they do stack. This is so good. Oh boy. I almost feel bad. But I don't. On a hand like this, Spear Spewer is first. No, I guess it doesn't matter. We'll get the Firebrand started, because he can attack next turn anyways. I was thinking that we need to get the Spear Spewer down to trigger Spectacle, but we don't. We can do... he's going to get shocked. They love to shock the little creatures. It's not as effective. Well, that was pretty effective because now my Rigging Runner is going to be a 1-1. I'm going to play him anyways. It doesn't matter if he's a 2-2 or a 1-1. He does have first strike, so he kills... Oh, this is it, huh? We don't do so well against Is It. If he gets a 3rd turn flyer, the game is over. Boy, I really don't like this at all. And we're just going to take the damage in order to do the damage. So we could Skewer and Banneret next turn. Boy, this is tough. Yeah. Rats. So we'll tap this guy. Do the damage. Attack. And it's not an instant, so he can effectively block. He doesn't block anyways. Okay. Skewering doesn't do much. See, this is... One Enigma Drake ruins the party for us. That was a weird way to draw. Okay, so we got 2 mountains out of the deal. And another Skewer. Alright, so we're going to rely on direct damage to win us the game. Boy, this is risky. Okay. We're going to risk factor, discard a mountain. I'm hoping he takes this damage, realizing that, uh-oh, I probably can't take too much more of this damage, can I? Nope. Probably don't want to do that. So he's at 7. I can pop him for 4. And I could get my 10 Street Dodger out there and going, and he can't block the 10 Street Dodger if I pay the 1 red. He just becomes unblockable. I don't think he attacks. Oh, okay, there's that. I still don't think he attacks because his creatures are too valuable, as now he attacks for sure. Yeah, okay. This may not go well. Unbelievable. We're going to go right to face. If he has a... I don't think he's got it. But if he's got a Spell Pierce, he wins the game. And we win with direct damage and Goblins against... Is it? That's our toughest matchup. Is it? Right there. This is both a fun and effective deck. I like this a lot. See how long we can keep this win streak going. This is nice. And I think this might do well in ladder. If I ended up investing a little bit more in the top end, or maybe it's time for like Chain Whirlers. I do want to see how many decks in the next Grand Prix though are running Chain Whirlers or Mono Red. I think Mono Red's going to be strong, but it requires Skargan Hellkites, and those are mythic rares, so oh good. We've got our Cavalcade of Calamity. This is going to be amazing. I hope, unless we get trounced by like a... Well, we'll see. I do have a couple lightning strikes to ease the burden of blocking creatures. So he's going to have shocks and all that good stuff. So we'll do Goblin and Instigator first. Doesn't appear that he's running shock, or it does have it in his hand anyways, because it didn't hold his priority. Electrostatic Field, that's just fine. See this? So here we go. We'll play our Fanatical Firebrand, and then we'll play Cavalcade. Now watch. Go ahead and block. I don't care. It stacks 3 times. This is the whole point of this deck right here is this. Now he blocks 1 and still takes 2. If he doesn't resolve most of this turn, this is going to be... He'll be in trouble right here. I don't care. I would have skewered... He probably hasn't seen this Cavalcade idea of Cavalcades just yet. This is hilarious. I love everything about this. And see, with Cavalcade out, my Firebrand's ability to do 1 damage isn't as important, because he did the 1 damage also, and now he's got to resolve the blocking. He can block 2, which is fine. I could kill his Electrostatic Field, but it's not really a priority right now. He may be running Chain Whirler, and that slows us down. If he plays a Chain Whirler on this turn, gosh, that almost could win him the game. Thank goodness. I will happily let him draw. Go for it. No, I don't want to let him draw. I think he would have shocked one of my guys, and I need one of them alive to win the game. So I'm going to go ahead and take 4. I can't risk him drawing into a shock. That would be detrimental. Now I need all of this mana to cast both lightning strikes. This is lethal. I attack twice. He takes 2. Bang bang. It's on the stack. He can't stop it. There it is. He could shock a dude, but it's too late. Let's not end the turn just yet. Let's finish this off. And this deck is extremely budget friendly, with the exception of the Legion War bosses. But I would argue that those could be swapped out for a host of any other 3-drop goblins you might have. Even like Bogart Brute, which is just a 3/2 with Menace, that should even do it. Just because, I mean, how often do you attack when they have 2 creatures that they want to double up to block a dude, and then he doesn't trigger the Cavalcade, but neither does Legion War Boss. Although the token creation aspect of Legion War Boss is super powerful. And plus this deck is super fun. So there's that when you get tired of grinding on ladder play, like I do frequently. And how disappointing is the ladder anyways, right? Where now we all of a sudden have 28 days to try and climb it. I wish it was a little more friendly in terms of the time frame. I like this hand. I like where we're going. So turn 1 Banneret, turn 2 Instigator, turn 3 potentially Instigator and 10th Street Dodger. Although there might be an argument for Dodger first to get the haste going. I won't be able to trigger Banneret's mentor ability for quite a while. So maybe I go with the haste and get the early damage in there. I like the art on Banneret. He's like charging in there. Cool. I don't think our opponent knows we're playing Goblins. There's no reason to quit yet. Of course, I think any amount of lifelink shuts us down. Any amount, like any good blocker, shuts us down pretty good. Even in that Is It game we just played in. Yeah, that's a Hunted Witness. Oh, curses. So let's go with the Banneret and not attack, because he will for sure block with the Hunted Witness. So this might be a good counter. If he has a good opening hand with some lifelink, that's great. No, we're not blocking. Rats. I'm going to play my 2 10th Street Dodgers just in case he kills one. And we will skewer the Bishop's Soldier for sure. Although he's won the game at this point. Like, it's his game to lose. Yeah, oh, rats. He gained a life. We can't possibly overcome that. No vigilance, no vigilance. This is just going to be a 1/1, so I'm okay with that. Okay. So I could drop my Firebrand. No, let's just attack. He'll undoubtedly block somebody. He didn't block anybody. So now we will waste a skewer on the Bishop Soldier and an Instigator on the Vanguard. No, not yet, not yet. I don't mean Instigator, I meant a Firebrand. We'll do the Instigator, because if we draw into a... Oh boy. That's just about the game. This is the one card that I did not account for. It was a Johnny's Pride Mate. Boy, how dead are we, huh? Pretty dead. So let's get the Firebrand down. We'll use it right now to kill the Vanguard, just in case he's sitting on a removal spell for us. Yep, and we'll start with some mentoring. Try and get some damage in here. All 5 attackers, and we'll mentor just the 10th Street Dodger. And that's the one that he blocks. That. Oh, he's doing us a favor, I think. He must have another one. Okay, really need some card draw. Light up the stage, risk factor. Martyr of Dusk is okay. That's okay. See, he might have a Conclave Tribunal in there that he's just sitting on. Oh, awesome. So how about we main phase, light up the stage. Oh no, let's... Yeah. Our 10th Street Dodgers are now unblockable. so we don't have to main phase or light up the stage. Not unblockable, but they can only be blocked by creatures with Defender. So he doesn't have any, so we just play it and light up. Okay, light up the stage, got through 2 mana, and allows us to play our last Instigator. So Cavalcade of Calamity will hit him for 7. And then 4 creatures will get through for another 4, so that'd be 11. That'd be a terrific draw. He can't convoke his Conclave Tribunal at this point. Doesn't have enough creatures for it. Of course, it's a mountain. Why wouldn't it be? And I don't want to attack with anything else because he will get lifelink creatures. Let's declare attackers. No, oh boy. Thank you. I wish it wasn't that easy sometimes. Okay, alright, so he's at 10. He doesn't have the mana to trigger her at this point. Okay, yeah, for sure I'll block. He doesn't first strike, he just has Vigilance, and then I'll happily take the 2 and the 1 because I don't want him to get lifelink on the table. That would be detrimental to the cause. But now that saved us. He's still got the game. This is it. Well, maybe not. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to take 10. At least. It's not a knight, is it? Soldier, soldier, human. Okay, so let's attack with everybody. That looked like only 3 damage, but it must have been 4. Block, block, kill, kill. So he has to resolve one of these or my Cavalcade to win the game. He could do it. He could Conclave Tribunal, just a 10 Street Dodger, and then the game is over. Or that. Oh, rats. So yeah, this game, we could have won if he didn't have the Ajani's Pridemate down so early. Those are tough for us to remove. That's game. Barely. That was his last turn, too. Barely. So it is susceptible to decent blockers, like I said, but if you can get out there and get up under him, it tends to work out pretty well. And I might have done better by saving some blockers in that game, but you know, sometimes you never know. You just want to get after it. And then the other thing that I don't know if we'll get a chance to show it off. Maybe it's a little too fast for it, but flying. If they get flyers out there, it could spell trouble for our goblins. But for the most part, they're quick. And they punch pretty hard. I mean, it's pretty cool. Opponent goes first again. Not a terrible draw at all. So we'll drop a Banneret and hope that we can squeak away with a Rigging Runner and a Spear next turn. I don't think we will. I think he's going to eat a shock right here. Ah, it's a Steamkin. Perfect. I don't think he blocks. And we will not end the turn. We will drop a Spear and a Rigging Runner. Our Rigging Runner is going to be a 2/2 with first strike. So if he plays a shock to kill the Spewer, his Steamkin's a 2/2. I can still block it down very effectively. Unless this is a Chain Whirler, then he's got a better deck than we do. And that's going to be the end of it, I think. But even this combo right here, Rigging Runner, Banneret, I could mentor the Rigging Runner into an early 3/3 and swing in for 6, trigger Spectacle with my Spewer, and pop somebody with a Light Up the Stage, and be very happy. Yeah, check this out. Oh, I needed that mountain to do this. Wow. So So let's do the 1. And then we will light up the stage. Dope. I don't mind this at all. I don't need a whole lot of mountains, so I can only play one of them, right? And then the other one gets discarded, but I'm okay with that because I'm sitting on a chunk of damage here. I've got 6 coming. Lava coil. I knew you were going to do that. That's okay. He doesn't want to attack. Because he wants to save it as a blocker for his guy. I'm gonna wait on the attack. We'll give it a turn. I'm on the fence about playing my Banneret because it's only a 1/1. I'm gonna hang on to him because if he does play a Chain Whirler, I don't want to lose 2 of them. I'd rather have 1 in hand, and I suspect he's going to have some shenanigans up his sleeve for this. I'm sitting on 6. This would be a great time to play a Skargon Hellkite. That would have been awesome. This is cool. He's got 3 mana again. This is cool, dude. I love what I'm seeing here. There it goes. Yes, yeah. So this is obviously the superior deck for if you're doing like mono red aggro. This is what you want to do with it. And I wonder if we have any shot of winning. This is nice. This is pretty. Wow, that is great for what we want to do with this deck. I didn't even know this was a card. Tilonalli's Summoner. Whenever this thing attacks, you can pay X in a red. If you do create X 1/1 red elemental creature tokens, who cares if they're not goblins, that are tapped and attacking. And then you exile those tokens. That's downright terrific. Well, we're dead. 3/7. Yeah, this is the game. So this is our last turn. We can't win. I may as well risk factor just for good time's sake. There's nothing we can do. I can block the Steamkin, but he can make 3, potentially 4 additional creatures. This is amazing. This goes really well with Cavalcade of Calamity. There's his War Boss. And of course, here we go with... And he used his Steamkins to do it. So now he's going to create 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is 10 damage. If he sells out to make all 3, we're toast. This is great. This is a good mono red deck. I like this. Although you're going to have to run Skargon Hellkites in this deck because that'll give you the top end you need. Which I would do. I would do that. Do we live? Do we get another turn out of this deal? I don't think we do. 0. Exactly 0. Okay. Well, that's my Goblin deck, guys. I like it. And I think there's a lot of room for even like a sideboard, even some differences in if you're seeing a lot of like tokens. Goblin Chain Whirler handles those kind of nicely, which is kind of a cool card to play too. So there's some investment that you could make in here, and I think it might be kind of worth it. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate all the support you guys give me. This is kind of a cool project I'm doing. So, once again, thank you so much. Have fun playing some Magic.